Chapter 12. 7 rolled around and Douglas had been ringing the door like wild. Scott and Helen were passed out in separate rooms. Sophia had left to return to her family and search for a new job, telling her husband everything and warning him she didn't want to end up next. Piper and Jabari were mid-coitus as dinner was cooked in the oven an hour away. Douglas called Piper for the 3rd time, wishing she would hurry up and get dressed. "My phone again," Piper panted, looking at the nightstand, wondering who would be bothering her right now in doggy style. "You can get it, baby. I need some juice." Jabari catches his breath, wiping the sweat from his forehead as he lifts himself from the bed. "You serious?" Piper groans, falling at her side. "What's up with you? You don't like juice?" Jabari wondered why her mood switched so quickly. "There's a lot more to living together than sex, Piper." "It's dog," Piper whines. "Why?" Jabari groaned. "He wanted to take me to dinner tonight, but I'm already cooking for you. I'm not going back home, Ari." "Nicknames already, huh?" Jabari rubs his neck uncomfortably. "You don't like it?" "My friends call me Smoke." "Why?" "Because I want all of it." Jabari reached for the phone. "Hello? God damn, I've been ringing this motherfucking doorbell for 10 minutes straight. What the hell is going on?" Douglas fumes, cursing on the other side of the phone. "She's not home," Jabari replied. "Who the fuck is this with my wife?" Douglas demanded. "She's not married to you," Jabari remarked. Douglas was silent. Jabari hung up, heading off to the kitchen to find his juice. Piper was stunned that things could be handled so quickly, yet knew something more sinister awaited them. Piper knew Douglas too well to think simple logic and rationale would work. It wasn't a matter of law to Douglas. He owned Piper in his mind, and even less, wouldn't settle for another man having what he couldn't, especially not a black man. "Jabari, do you think I should go home now?" Piper followed him, clicking her pointer fingers together, dressed in his t-shirt. "You keep going back and forth with this in your head." "I don't want him to kill you over me, baby." Piper held his hands as tears filled her eyes. "You act like I'm some defenseless child." "I act like he has people. He doesn't have to do it himself. He's a coward and probably won't. You have to look over your shoulder constantly. You'll never know what white person to trust, and at any moment one of his people can try to take your life." "I already gotta go through that shit now without any pussy." Piper shrugged, holding her thumb to her chin. "So, I'm like a trophy to you." "Piper, if that's how you need to see yourself, then this is beyond me. You're not my prisoner. You came here of your free will. I'm grateful for your company, and I appreciate your dad's business. I would love to get married to you, but if you're worried about your little dick boyfriend, be worried about me splitting his skull, not the other way around. Then you go to prison. You think I don't know the law? In self-defense, I don't face any charges. I get a court date and a bond," Jabari protested. "Jabari, you're a black man. You know black men don't face justice in America." "Piper, I don't know what Kool-Aid you're drinking, but I studied law. Albeit I specialize in tax law. I still had to learn the rest as well. If your redneck, hillbilly, inbred boyfriend touches me, I'm beating his ass. There's not a damn thing the courts will do about it," Jabari declares as though he would hear no more on the topic. "So you're a lawyer. Why do lawn care?" Piper was befuddled. "I'm not afraid of hard work, and the customers trust me less. I did it for a while and still work in the office, but I don't mind taking PTO or days off to work on lawn care." "You take PTO to work lawn care too?" Piper drooled. "I did yesterday. I checked into the office. I took the rest of the day as paid time off and cut your lawn and met your wonderful self." "We smoked and had sex." Piper rolled her eyes. "Yeah, I was expecting to cut the grass and go home," Jabari chuckled. "Probably should have. Then you could have avoided all this crap with me," Piper frowned. "You have no faith in America?" Jabari's question caught her off guard. You honestly think things have changed so little? You have that little faith in the legal system or your father? I'm worried about Douglas and my mother. People can't change hell-bent on making things stay the same. I never met your mother. I don't think my mother has ever met a black person face to face and prides herself on it. She hates black people, but never says why. She's never been around black people. Jabari found that impossible to process, being so sheltered. If she can help it, no. If she's forced into the same space as black people, she ignores them entirely. Well, everyone besides Mr. Bob, he used to deliver the mail when I was younger. My mom was always very nice to him when my dad wasn't around. If my dad were gone, she would wait for the mail, talk to him for a while, but he never came inside. Your mom likes black guys. What? No way. Piper laughs. They hate black people. No, her and Mr. Bob would just go talk alone privately. Dude, there's no freaking way my mom cheated on my dad. Why? I don't know. Bullshit. You have to share information. You can't just sit here doing surveillance on me and fucking me too, Jabari accuses. Dude, I don't think like either of you crazy people. Piper throws her hands up. My bad. I'm being honest with you, Smoke. I don't have a good reason for why they feel the way they feel. All their talking points have been debunked. Many of them benefit from the same programs they fight to end. There's just some guy like my dad telling them what they want to hear, even if he doesn't believe it himself, Piper shrugs. Why do it? You know the percentage of black people in America? 12, maybe 13, 15% the highest, I believe. Why? Well, globally, how big is that percentage? Piper insists. Jabari lets out a breath of air. Shit, the majority of the world is brown, yellow, and black. And we are only 10 to 13% of that population. Europe is tiny. It's a peninsula, not a continent. There are not a lot of white people. And we can go extinct in a couple of decades, so we need to control the earth, Piper explained. What? Jabari laughed. Imagine if all the other groups turned against white people. Imagine if Asians and Spaniards wanted to be Asian and Spanish instead of white. Imagine if black people in America truly wanted to be black and only do business with black people or go back to Africa. We would lose everything. If other groups don't need to be Western to get rich, feel happy, or get respect, they won't date or marry white people. Right now, people across the globe want to be American, so we control the world. If that stops, then we have nothing. I know it sounds silly to you because you don't think like that, but they fear the white race's end and our culture's death. Why? Because we've pissed off everyone and have an unsustainable culture, and if instead of changing and accepting what's wrong, we've doubled down. There are no saving guys like Doug. Most will never end their suffering as long as a black man suffers more. That's a sickness. That's all we know. And that's why I can't go back. Piper hugs Jabari's arms as her phone rings again. Piper tilted her head, picking it up without hesitation. Hey, Dad, what's up? Where are you? I'm at a friend's house. I told you that already. Man, Douglas is here cursing up a storm, ringing my damn doorbell like crazy. You with that gardener? We got some friends for him to meet over here. Scott sounded groggy as if he had been drinking heavily. Piper knew she couldn't take too long, or else her dad would know she was lying. Why? Because Doug and your mother keep going on and on about how you two are having sex and how you're with him And I'm fucking hungover, and I'm ready to kick his ass just for having these two bothering me. Scott complained. I'm sorry, Dad. They seriously need to mind their business. Look, Dad, I'm with a friend. I promise you, I'm safe. I'm not doing anything to disrespect you. We literally just spoke this afternoon when I called you an Uber. Why are you doing this now? You need to get on home, Piper. I'll let this all go and pretend nothing happened. Just get home. Scott hangs up. Piper frowned. At least we're friends. Jabari hugged her. I don't just want to be your friend. Friends don't have sex. I want to be your woman, your wife. I'll get going soon. This is just so unfair. I'm a woman. They can't just control my life. Piper held her neck, sobbing into his chest. Jabari couldn't speak. He didn't know this woman from her apple bottom, but he felt horrible for even considering sending her back to such an environment. The idea of his death was flung around like second nature. He feared what would happen to this woman facing her parents and that beer-belly neo-Nazi.